Hi there, I'm Norman Holtzhausen from Boating New Zealand. Today we are reviewing the Rodman Spirit 31 Hardtop Outboard. Living in New Zealand has many undeniable benefits, including our spectacular boating environment. However, one of the disadvantages of being so far from the rest of the world is that we sometimes miss out on offerings from some of the world's greatest manufacturers. Luckily, Auckland-based Your Marine has stepped up to fill the gap and bring us the Rodman Spirit 31. Superb example of Spanish boat-building prowess. Although relatively unknown here, Rodman is one of Europe's most respected brands with nearly 50 years of history building large commercial vessels, patrol craft, as well as an extensive range of pleasure craft. They have built over 15,000 vessels during this period, and the Rodman Spirit 31 embodies a bunch of innovative design features that they have become renowned for. Somewhat unusually for a boat that is just short of the 10-meter mark overall, the Rodman Spirit 31 that we tested is outboard powered. This model is available in both an open cabin and closed hardtop versions, and it was the hardtop that we tested on a rare, fine, late autumn day in Auckland. This hull is also available in a diesel inboard version with a single or twin shaft drive options. However, Daniel Painter, director of Your Marine, said that the global trend is towards outboard configurations in the sub-10 meter category. One of the key benefits of the twin outboard configuration is that very little hull space is lost to the propulsion system, with the motors mounted on a standoff bracket that pushes them just out from the stern. This means that the motors also do not require any cockpit space when they tilt up, so effectively the entire interior volume of the hulls is available. That extra space has enabled the designers to fit 2 full double berth cabins, an appealing feature for owners wanting to treat their family or friends to an overnight trip. The only downside of the outboards is the smaller boarding platform and lack of swim access directly out the back of the boat. But again, the designers have come up with an innovation. The cockpit seats are curved and slide in a similarly curved track to either form a continuous couch with a stern seat or open up to create a walkway through to the swim platform on either side. This sliding seat arrangement does mean that almost the entire length of the Rodman 31 Spirit is accessible space, unlike many boats which lose the boarding platform except when swimming. A drop-in table means that alfresco dining in the cockpit is the way to go, and on our review day we did just that, as we enjoyed the rare sight of a clear sunny day. The stern seat swings up when you do not need access to the outboard power heads, and a hatch in the cockpit provides access to the cavernous lazarette, which houses the fuel tank, batteries and ancillary systems. This space can also easily accommodate a tender, second fridge, and all the toys you may need for a couple of weeks away. A tempered glass door leads into the saloon and galley area. The galley is hidden away under a fan-fold countertop, which lifts to reveal a stainless 2-burner hob and a separate sink. A Dometic 12-volt stainless fridge and freezer just behind the skipper seat keeps food fresh and drinks cold, and we can attest to the effectiveness of this. The port side features a long L-shaped sofa and dining table, which can be lowered to provide some extra sleeping capability. The cabin interior is beautifully finished with white cabinetry, grey upholstery and carpet, and wood grain countertops. The sliding windows on both sides are themselves a marvel of design and engineering, with sliding panels inset into the expansive tempered glass side windows. Sitting on the sofa, you cannot help but look up to admire the Webasto electrically operated marine sunroof. Stepping down the galleyway to the cabins, the starboard side features the spacious bathroom with a stylish porcelain basin, shower with curtain, and luxury toilet. The double guest cabin on the port side with a full-size double berth and a large side window with opening porthole. The main cabin up forward has another full-size double berth, windows on either side with opening portholes, an opening skylight hatch, and a clothes-hanging wardrobe. The width of the main cabin was surprising, showing how much volume they've managed to build into this hull. At the helm, things are clearly laid out and visibility is excellent. A carbon fibre panel contains everything that is needed. A 12-inch Garmin touchscreen multifunction display for chart plotter and fish finder, a Mercury vessel view display for managing the motors, analog gauges for water, fuel and grey water, touch controls for the electric trim tabs and anchor winch, and a joystick for the bow thruster. Control of the motors is through a dual-handle digital throttle and shift DTS unit, and this proved very easy to use. Stepping back through the saloon into the cockpit, and access around the sides of the cabin is via a set of very generous steps, covered in sea-deck flooring like the rest of the cockpit. Walking along the sides of the cabin is easy due to the recessed side decks providing secure footing, high guardrail all around the boat, and stainless handrails up on the cabin sides. A pair of optional stainless bars across the roof, much like a vehicle's roof rack, can be used for carrying a dinghy or kayaks, while keeping them well clear of the sliding sunroof. Up in the bow area, an upholstered sun lounger and a sturdy bow rail make this a great area for the sun lovers. The anchor winch and fair lead are well out of the way of tows, making this a great area. Quite evident from the foredeck is how wide and rounded the bow is at the deck level, which together with the near vertical bow provides that interior volume that we could see in the master bedroom. The hull does slim down to an efficient V at the waterline, which produces good handling despite the volume. The motors are so far back and shielded by that stern seat that you can hardly hear them running at anything less than full roar, so it is a very quiet trip out. As we headed out, we checked a couple of consumption figures on the V6 3.4 litre normally aspirated Mercuries. The hull is easily driven, and at 4,000 RPM she cruises comfortably at 24 knots, using a total of just under 60 litres per hour for both motors. This works out to less than 3 litres per nautical mile, so the 600 litres of fuel capacity gives a theoretical range in excess of 200 nautical miles. Not unusually for a boat like this, dropping the speed down to 16 knots, use slightly more fuel per nautical mile, so that mid-20 speed is the sweet spot. We did not push the engine flat out, but she is capable of near 40 knots at her maximum 6,000 RPM. At our designated spot off Waiheke, we pulled into Onaroa Bay for a light lunch. While the photographer flew his drone for the aerial shots, we putted around to find the best spot, then made the most of the pleasant autumn sun. After taking care of some excellent gourmet sandwiches and sparkling water, it was time to have a more serious play. As can be seen from the photos, the Rodman tracks straight as an arrow under power, creating a remarkably small wake for a vessel displacing around 6 tons. The steering was light but very direct, and the hull, despite its 3.36 meters of beam, easily cuts through any head sea. We had excellent conditions, so we were not able to test her in a big chop, but she certainly seemed stable and comfortable. The Rodman Spirit 31 is a large volume, functional and stable boat which nevertheless is efficient and comfortable to drive. The build quality is excellent, with many design features that other manufacturers might envy. The simplicity and reliability of the twin outboards outweighs the slightly higher fuel cost. And as proved by vessels that Your Marine has going into syndicates, this is also possibly the ideal boat for a shared ownership agreement.
John Ecclestone from Boating New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to our channel.